Hello everyone, my name is Terry Larkin and I'm so happy to have you join us again for our video blog this time. I'm author along with my sister Marjorie Steiner of The Light Gap, and all of our blogs that we are now writing as weekly blogs are available to see on our website, and you can find us at thelightgap.com. One of the things that I've been talking about in our blogs a little bit has been about meditation, because since my near-death experience and understanding how our soul is a separate entity that when we leaves our body, and we're able to separate and yet put together the fact that our mind, body, and spirit are all working together. And meditation has been one of the most powerful ways that I've been able to connect with, not only with God, but with my inner self, my divine self, with all of this, any spirit that might be connected with us. And I am excited to share some small ideas that might help you from my journey of learning exactly what it took to make an art masterpiece out of my own meditation. Just like a snowflake here in the wintertime, each person, each one of us is a totally different person. And so as you get hints from different people, you put them together to make what works for you. My health story is a part of the story of the Light Gap, because after my near-death experience, after many years, in fact in 2006, I had a huge decline in my health. And one of the messages that I had learned is that we have the ability to affect healing in our own bodies. And that is one of the things that brought me to share the story, because I was a very, very sick person. And you can read that health story in our book. But one of the things that happened after that is, during meditation, having that aha moment of, I need to do something about it. So I'm helping with little tips on how to go about that. Now, the structure of meditation is probably one of the most important things. Deep breathing, our breath, every type and kind of meditation that you have heard about, read about, always starts with the breath. And that's because that is our whole structure for keeping our body alive while we're in this life. When we do deep breathing, we are bringing out and expelling old breath that needs to go. But we're also taking in wonderful new oxygen into every cell of our body. And so all meditation begins with deep breathing. I find that working on that deep breathing, it's much easier to get to the slower breathing that you're trying to achieve later when silence comes. I have also found that if I put movement in first, where I am using what I know about how the energy flows through our bodies, and move that energy prior to the silent time, I'm able to accomplish several things. One is, I can let all of those thoughts that always happen when we try to sit in the quiet, let them gently flow on. And what I am doing is using soft yoga, qigong, movements of stretching, and putting the different chakras by letting the energy go through it while music is drawing me in and bringing my mind ready for the silent part of meditation. When we can let those thoughts go, it's much easier during the silent time. So that movement really has accomplished a lot. Now, as I've done that movement, and I have my yoga mat right there, I'm doing that right in the place where I'm going to be sitting down for meditation. And the music is something that's been proven to help your brain being pulled into slower, easier ways of thinking. When you sit down then, I often then change to a different music, and that silent time is either driven by music, guided meditation, or simply silence. Every person's a little bit different. And also, I don't keep it the same every day. That would be quite boring, to be perfectly honest. And when I sit down to pick a music, now that our music that we have available to us is available by, we can put on our phones and put earphones on to hear them, I can really choose on that day, and I find that my intuition kicks in right away, letting me know what music I really want to use that day. And some of my favorites, people have asked, who is it? Well, Jim Oliver is one of the people who I started listening to very early. This one's called Transformational Healing Music. And on his website, he has some marvelous understandings of how music can facilitate healing. Another very favorite person that has been doing taping or music along with everyone from Neil Donald Walsh to Anita Morjani to many others who are doing guided meditation is Barry Goldstein. I had the privilege of meeting him in Arizona. What a marvelous man. And some of his music is just absolutely stunning. Another one is coming out of Hemasync, which is an organization who is working very heavily with another person who has been very instrumental for me, and that is Suzanne Giesemann. If you have not found her and are looking for an absolutely fabulous guided meditation, hers is absolutely wonderful because there's such a rich explanation of all of the traits of joy and peace and strength, courage, love, compassion that all live inside of us and how we can access them. It's a wonderful CD if you haven't had an opportunity to do that yet. As then I'm sitting down for that silent meditation or guided or music driven, then I'm putting my brain and my heart in coherence before I begin. And it's called heart-brain coherence because did you know that our heart, it actually contains a tiny brain that was discovered in 2001? And that's an amazing find to understand that our heart is containing a lot of the same qualities that our brain is. And if they are in coherence, that means that they're communicating with one another. That amazing things happen in our body that they're now able to show on graphs to even show us what's happening inside of our body. That is really facilitating healing. Now, all of this came from heartmath.org. If you've not been to that website, it is amazing what they are doing for research and have been doing for many, many years now. And a man who has been able to explain it very well is Greg Braden. And again, another man who I hope you're paying attention to and listening for because he is quite an amazing voice. But his book, In Resilience of the Heart, explains how to do that coherence. And it's very, very simple. It is simply once you have quieted yourself, or even in the midst of the worst disaster of your day, stopping, putting your hand on your heart, bringing gratitude, compassion, and love is what will activate the coherence between your brain and your heart. When you use even the words gratitude, love, compassion, gratitude, love, compassion, as soon as you're able to think of all the things that you are grateful for, it totally quiets your body down very, very quickly. I have my hand on my heart because that's a way of activating it as well. And just a simple touch, especially in a time of stress, it will take your body to what it remembered that you had been doing during your meditation. It's just a powerful way to quiet your mind. The other thing that you can do to quiet your mind is to use a mantra or a phrase, a verse. It can be things that you have pulled out from some of the significant reading you do. I know that for me, daily thought-provoking books from Marianne Williams, A Year of Miracles, Neil Donald Walsh with his meditation, Conversations from God, that's just a daily meditation. Suzanne Giesemann has two that are absolutely wonderful. In the Silence or Love Beyond Words. They're daily, short, mind expanding statements. There are other people, Wayne Dyer with his 10 Secrets to Inner Peace. If Jesus is calling you, the Jesus Calling series might be something that's for you. If you're having trouble of thinking of something positive, for an affirmation, Louise Hay is absolutely wonderful. This is not a new book. You Can Heal Your Life, but it's a wonderful book. And it's one that I've reread several times just in the last few years, even though I read it a long time ago. It's just a marvelous way to get some positive things. And she's got a very tiny little book called Power Thoughts that can help, and you can open up and give yourself a thought for the day. All of those things help, because I love the quote that I found and put in the blog that you can go on our website and read if you're not already have read it. Because silence isn't empty. It's full of answers. I love that quote. And I don't know who said it. I'm suspecting it maybe came from Buddha, but I don't know for sure because I found it a long time ago, tucked it away. But you know, it is just a marvelous thing when you realize that silence isn't empty. You're receiving answers from God. And just starting in on this process is just a wonderful thing for us all to do. And understanding the healing parts that can come through meditation is where I'm going to be heading next. Because healing and maintaining our health is one of the very big learning that I took place after when I was so sick on many, many medications, and was finally able to replace those medications with things other than a list of drugs that I needed to take. I am now off all of those, in wonderful health, and I'm trying to help people to maintain your health. So I'm hoping that you'll tune in next time, because next time I'm going to zero in more on the healing part of it and how you can access that. Good to see all of you.